Good morning, 10th grade English students. Hope you guys are doing well today. It's Monday, so you know what that means. We're running right back into our poetry lessons. And so today, if you have your book, we're going to be on page 509, 510, and 511. If you don't have your book, don't worry. I'm going to post the poem on our Google Classroom, and you'll be able to look at it there. This video will serve as your notes, so make sure you're taking notes as we go through this today. All right, so today we're going to be talking about a poem called Bonnie Barbara Allen, this poem is a ballad. And so if you don't know what a ballad is, it's basically a story. It is a story told in song. We listen to ballads all the time. When you listen to the radio, you're listening to your music, you'd be surprised how many songs that you really like that are actually ballads, because it's a story, and there's something about a story that just draws us in. And so that is the case here with a ballad. Now, a couple of things about a ballad. Most ballads have a very strong meter. And so we've already talked about meter in our earlier poetry lessons. And they have a refrain. So a refrain, these are whole lines or stanzas that are repeated at regular intervals. Sometimes in music we might think of this as the chorus, that sort of thing, but it's something that's going to be repeated. One ballad that I really like, because I'm a big Eagles fan, is Lion Eyes. You Can't Hide Your Lion Eyes. Look it up. It's got a really good song, and it's a good message too. So today, Bonnie Barbara Allen, I'm not going to read it to you because it's rather long and I don't want the video to be too long today, but I do want you to read it out loud because you can get the real feel for it if you read it out loud, or maybe watch the YouTube video of someone reading it. Bonnie Barbara Allen is a folk ballad, and so that means it is a ballad that has been passed down from generation to generation to generation orally. This was sung around in gatherings in public places. And so it's very, very old. In fact, the one we're reading today originated in Scotland in the 17th century. So you know how centuries work. That was really the 1600s. So it's pretty old. And it came over to America with people that settled in areas of Appalachia that came from Scotland and areas of England. So a couple of things about folk ballads. They often have tales of true love. This one is about love, but it's also tragic love. Sometimes they're about domestic violence, things like that. I always think of Goodbye Earl. You know that song by the Dixie Chicks? That one's about domestic violence, although it's not a folk ballad, but it is a ballad. Some of the formulas that they would use in these old folk ballads were things like red, red lips, white as milk, true, true love. You'll see those kinds of terms, those kinds of groupings of words repeated. It was kind of a formula, and so if someone were creating a ballad, they would just kind of use some of these phrases that were already available. So that's just a little bit about ballads. One of the things I want you to think about as you're reading the ballad, because I'm going to be asking you some questions on a quiz that is open book, I want you to think about, what is the refrain? What is being repeated over and over in Bonnie Barbara Allen? Think about that as you're reading it, and also think about symbolism. What is something that you can see, especially near the end of the ballad, that is symbolizing something else? Because I'm going to ask you some questions about that too, and I will be asking you some questions about these notes and also about the content of the poem. So I hope you enjoy it. It's one that I really like, and this will be your work for today. So have a great day, guys.